Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for spending your valuable time with the Adapt 2030 channel. 45% of all money earned now goes into housing payments. U.S. mortgage rates above 7%. Income needed to afford a house. More than doubling in many places. Mortgage lenders in the UK removing all fixed rate products. Wealthy in Dubai, free bread machines. Worst crisis since the end of World War II, Germany, fresh food frozen, gone. Random face on Antarctica. And at a certain point, you have to stop worrying about the end of the world and just tend to your watermelons. Remember that old Jimmy Cliff song, Gonna Be a Bright, Sunshiny Day? Well, wherever this is going to be a cloudy, nanometals-filled day. Cosmic radiation management, weather manipulation. Seems like every possibility's in play to control humanity. Dug up this map here. Possibilities for more gas flows into Europe. Even with all at 100%, collapse awaits. Speaking of collapse, Bank of England, massive insolvencies, meaning Lehman Brothers moments if they did not instantly switch course. You can read all about the interventions there, 7 different. Tedious and dry, but what one thing central banks around the world are having in common, Australian Central Bank loses 37 billion. What? Central banks across the world reporting losses, quantitative easing backfiring, tightening, just destroying our world with interest rates and inflation. So we're looking at gold now, the remonetization of gold. Fail-safe option is what it's called. So as we look at gold production by country, in addition to the gold reserves, supposedly the U.S. has the most gold in millions of ounces, 261 million, followed by Germany, the International Monetary Fund, then Italy. Screaming down the list ends with India, which is a little bit of a misnomer because India, the citizens, hold the most gold in the world. So if you added up citizens and banks, you get quite a different picture. Good health is our greatest wealth, and I'm really enjoying the benefits of C60 EVO, organic olive oil. When I take it daily, my focus is sharper and I have a lot more energy and endurance. I sleep deeper, wake up feeling more refreshed. C60 EVO's ESS60 is a breakthrough technology making C60 safe for human and pet consumption. It's been called a miracle molecule due to the physical and mental benefits people are enjoying. C60 EVO manufactures ESS60 infused edible oils, skin serums, lip balms, and pet formulas. I've had C60 from a couple other companies as well, so let's crack this open. We're going to put it in the beaker. Let's get one open here. As always, handy to have a pocket knife through any situation. And you know, going through this change that we're into with the economy, we're going to have to think about things to sustain our bodies and, you know, take our own self-care back in our own hands once again. This is the perfect thing to do because, you know, not only healing your body, but having the benefits of C60, and there's so many, so numerous, so many studies done on this now, peer-reviewed journals. It's undeniable any longer. So if you're looking for your, you know, grid down kit, this is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to think about. Let's see what we do. I'll try not to spill this because the black is very difficult to get up, especially being this type of carbon. It sucks everything in anyway. Try to put it into the beaker or on a white plate so you can get a look at it. Now, you got to have a flashlight. This is another, you know, something that would be SHTF required. Pocket knife, flashlight, being able to take care of your own body, and especially the things we're going to be eating are probably not going to be as healthy for us. So, you know, thinking about cleansing yourself, getting rid of those free radicals, your diet might change, but you would put this right on the front line. I've mentioned a few things like magnesium, the vitamin C, colloidal silver, C60 for sure. And coming into these food shortages and economic unknown times, you're going to have to know the benefit of every single plant and tree around your area. In addition to what you're putting in your body, the benefits. That's why I say this is high on the list to have around your home during those times. The results are truly noticeable. Treat yourself and those that you care about with these life-enhancing products. 100% ESS 60 purchased directly from the lab at c60evo.com/adapt2030 and use the promo code ADAPT2030 to take an additional 10% off your order. That link's in the description box below. Click and go. And now on with the video. But if you're going to want to add to your reserves year upon year, this is about the production levels. But with all the supply chain constraints, that's definitely going to drop. And talking about new economy emerging, I've done a video on this before. Several different elements are going to be required to move into a new, what is considered accepted value of 1 equals 1 in any country, and then that can be used to on-trade to another country. So far, it looks like it's going to be a combination of carbon credits, where holders of large amounts of forest would then pledge that for 20 plus years. Then a value would be assessed to it on how much carbon could be sequestered out of the average tree species density in that acre, multiplied out by how many acres you had. It's going to move into metals, gold and silver. Obviously, that fail-safe option has been for how many, 6,000 plus years. You're going to get your personal carbon allocation credits. And then they're talking about digitizing every single bit of food or ecosystem and then setting aside a value of that. So a fishery could have an ultimate value if it was managed of this much money. Again, if you're talking about real estate, that'll be in there as well. Controlled by who? Unknown. And then you'll get the cryptocurrencies, what we know as cryptocurrency today, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but then there's going to be a whole bevy of state-sponsored central bank digital currencies. Now somewhere in the middle it's going to mishmash and then create this new bedrock of something to grow off of. So think about it today. How is money valued? Well, you have all these different elements as well. You got the stock market, the real estate, etc., and the precious metals. It'll be something like this. It's just going to shift. But the destruction needs to occur, so we move to the new system, and everybody's in agreement that we move to the new system. So we see things like this over in England. Fixed rate mortgages are common in America. In the UK, not so much. So banks are removing and lenders are removing all fixed rate products. Nottingham taking down 14 of their fixed rate products. The only thing you're going to be left with is a variable rate mortgage, period. Fixed rate products from Paragon, bye-bye. And then look at this list also. BM Solutions, Keystone, West One Loans, Clydesdale Bank, Virgin Money, Bank of Ireland, Foundation Home Loans, Skipton Building Society, and then at the bottom, Leeds. They're all taking every single fixed rate product off the market. That does not bode well for anybody who wants to purchase real estate. Speaking of that, thought it pulls over to the U.S. here, above 7% now for a 30-year home loan. That really increases your monthly to the point of being unaffordable. Different way to look at it in a graphic here. So purchasing housing going to continue to decline. Those rates of 3% are long gone. We're probably going to swing above 10 or 12 here before it's all finished. Maybe we're going to eclipse the 1970s of 18 and 19%. At that point, it's really not affordable, so you'll watch housing market crash. And just as a point of fact, this comes out of the Atlanta Fed. U.S. median housing payment as a percent of the income, 44.5%. And I'll read you the byline. That's right, more than half of the average U.S. household income goes to paying housing payments. Nearly double what it was 2 years ago. Now imagine if the interest rates go higher or even double the interest rates, this will be up at 75%. Unattainable. And if we look off U.S. Census report combined with Zillow home pricing, 2022 is in that red box. how much money you need to afford a home in this market compared to 2 years ago. It's scary when you look at it. The amount needed now, just in Austin, $160,000, but in 2020, you only needed $76,000. That doubled. Boston, of course, was always an expensive place. You needed nearly $100,000, but now you need $170,000. And you can just go down this entire list, and it's startling how much prices have jumped. Even in a place like Pittsburgh, number 13, lucky 13, $34,000 before, but now at $57,000. Not quite doubling, but getting there. Miami, Florida, number 10. And it's just astounding how much money is required. This really shows the hyperinflation inbound here. And you look at that chart and you're like, whoa, what happened in 2 years? Massive inflation is what happened in 2 years. And it's going to continue more and more. So we're going to go into some hyperinflationary events here. Eventually it will come crashing down soon, way sooner than later. And then it comes the new economy. Remember, it has to be taken to zero to be brought back up. It's going to get so bad, people will beg for anything. That's the plan. Trust the plan. They'll beg for anything. And at that point, there will be no secondary parallel market that you could possibly choose from. And that's what will be required. No possible second choice. This is all you get. Personal allocation carbon credits. And the whole carbon economy will begin from that point. And food's such an integral part of our society as well. And this comes from the organization of Cold Chain and Fresh Product Wholesalers, Germany. Manufacturers of both frozen and fresh products say they cannot cope with soaring energy costs, meaning too expensive to run the freezers in the supermarkets, too expensive to run those massive walk-in freezers in the food depots. So this is downright scary here. This is the worst crisis since the end of World War II. And Germany's frozen and fresh food producers are saying that they're going to have to stop operations. Significant supply gaps in the daily food supply for the people of Germany. It just keeps going from bad to worse. And you look at this thing here and it's definitely planned. And this one off RTL News out of Luxembourg, also covering over into Denmark. A basket of groceries that cost 100 euros in September of last year, now consumers have to pay 117 euro. That's a massive increase. Same food, more money. Speaking of food that's unaffordable, let's jump over to Dubai. The poor get free bread from machines. Vending machines installed around supermarkets. Apparently you scan a QR code off your phone and then whoosh. Different types of bread comes out. Look at this. Sandwich bread, pita bread, flat Indian style chapati bread. And looking at the cost of living in Dubai, also 8.75% increase year on year. Just for food. Doesn't include anything else. So the cost of living is rising faster than people can be met with their needs, meaning prices are increasing so fast those fixed wages are not covering even the basics of bread now. And one thing about that machine type of thing, have you noticed almost all offices and governments, etc., have closed down where you have to do everything online or make phone calls, you're not allowed in the offices anymore. So that takes the human element out of everything. So when it gets really that bad, there's nowhere for you to go to complain. Everything will be closed. And the human element of distribution of bread. So if it was a human giving out the bread, you could walk up with two starving kids and go, they haven't eaten in a week. Can you give us an extra loaf? The machine, QR code, bread. You can't talk to a machine. The whole machine introduction during this time is really scary too. The distribution of foods by machine. There's no emotion there. It is what it is. 1 equals 1. Don't ask any more. Just move along the line. And with that said, and all the destruction happening across the world in terms of food production, food pricing, economy, housing, and everything else that is daily life, at a certain point, you have to stop worrying about the end of the world and tend to your watermelons. True statement. And this little nugget here sent to me, wild card in the video, face on Antarctica. Coordinates are there below for you, so I thought, all right, I'm going to double check this one. So I went into Google Earth, and indeed, right there it is. Pinned it for you, right on the nose. It's in a valley near the coast. Is it what we're really seeing? Or is it not? This is one of their forbidden areas to wander onto, that entire icy continent. You're just not allowed there because, well, you're just not allowed there. I do talk more about these same issues with Ransom Godwin, 10 p.m. to midnight every Thursday, freedomslips.com, where we also stream on Mountain High TV and the Mini Ice Age Conversations podcast channel on YouTube, along with Rumble, LinkedIn, and Hive.tv. All those links are in the description box below. Hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you next time.